So we were discussing this problem that we want to
Okay, so
reverse the digits of a given number. This is a simple algorithm. We can use a mod operator here and go to statement. Okay. So what we need to do, we are initializing a variable s to 0. You can use any other variable. This is simply any variable name. Okay. We need to on the left hand side. This is the algorithm of the program. So first we are going to read the number, and then we are successively calculating the digit of the given number. For example, if the digit, if the number is 123, then what we are going to do, we are going to calculate each digit of the number, and then we are going to invert the number. Or rather, we are calculating the sum of digits of the number. Okay. So first we need to calculate the digit. Uh, for example, if it is 123, then we will calculate first digit, that is the unit digit. So for that purpose, we are dividing the n by mod operator with 10. So if you divide any number by 10, then the remainder will be the unit digit. For example, you can take a smaller number. If it is 12, then if you divide by 10, what will happen? It will give you the remainder 2. Okay. So 2 is the first digit. So we have calculated first digit in the variable d here in line number 3. We have calculated one digit, and we are going to add this d into the variable s. So first digit is added into the sum. Okay. Now we need to calculate second digit of the number. How to calculate? If we divide, or if we perform modulo division by 10, then again only you will get the unit digit. Okay. So for that purpose, we are dividing n by 10. So what will happen? If the number was 12, for example, then this will become 1.2. Okay. And since we are considering as n as integer, so what will happen? N will contain only 1. And the value of n will come on to step number 6. This is written here. This step. We are comparing n with 0. If n is greater than 0, then we will go back to the step number 3. So we will come again at step number 3 here. Okay. What will happen now? We will calculate again modulo division by 10. So if n is 1, then what will happen? 1 is divided by 10 and the remainder is calculated. So what will be the remainder? Remainder will be 1 only. Okay. So this d, this is the second digit of the number. Your number was 12. So first we extracted 2 and then 1. So there were 3 digits. There were 2 digits and we have extracted both the digits. So we are going to add 1 now. So d will be added into variable s. Then n will be calculated again. We have calculated, we have taken or we have extracted both the digits from n. Now we are again going to divide n by 10. What will happen now? Since the value of n is only 1 and we will divide it by 10, it will become 0.1. But since n is integer, so n will contain only 0. Then we will go to step number 6. Here we are going to check value of n is greater than 0. And since value of n has become 0, we will not go back to the step number 3 and will come out of step number 6 to step number 7. So here we will print the value, variable s, that is the sum of digits. Okay. And this will conclude your algorithm. Your algorithm will end here. The algorithm is clear? Now this algorithm has been converted into the C program. As I've told you that there's almost one-to-one correspondence except declaring the variables. Okay. In algorithm, you need not declare the variables. Here we are going to declare the variables. What we are doing, all the variables, for example, in algorithm, we are using S, N, and D. There were 3 variables. So we have declared all the 3 variables in C program. Here we have declared all the 3. S equals to 0, N, and D.
आवाज
इसके इसमें माइक में से ये आवाज आ रही, शोर हो रहा है, प्लीज म्यूट इट. Okay, so we have declared all the three variables s, n and d. S has been initialized as 0. Okay, we are calculating sum. Then we have cleared the screen. Then we are scanning the number n. Here just we need to write n, read n. In C we need to declare it, we need to write it like this. We have given the message enter n, and then we have scanned the value of n. Since n is integer, so we need to use % here. अगर n आपका floating point होता then आप यहाँ पर %f use करेंगे. Since n is integer, so we are using %d here. Okay. Now since we are using goto statement, and goto needs a label to go back or to jump to a particular statement. So we have made the same statement as here. It was statement number 3. Here this is the statement where we want to jump back, and the modulo operator in C is % operator. So we are calculating the date one by one using this operator. We have written here d equals to n %10. So what will it be do? What it will be doing? It will calculate the unit date each time. So for example, it was 123 or any number you can consider. Suppose it was 76. So if you divide 76 by 10, then the remainder will be 6. So d will become 6, and we are calculating s equals to s plus d. So s will also become 6 as s was 0 earlier. Same thing is being done here. N equals to n divided by 10. Since n is integer, so it will contain only 7 point, instead of 7.6, and n will contain only 7. And since the value of n is greater than 0, we'll jump back to the label. Label is back, so we will jump to this statement. This is the label. This is called label. Okay, so we'll jump here, and 7 again the date will be calculated. D equals to n %10. So this statement will calculate like d equals to 7 %10. So this will become 7. As you divide 7 by 10, then what will be the remainder? The remainder will be 7. So d will become 7, and then 7 will be added. So as will become, earlier it was 6, now 7 will be added, so it will become 13. And now n will become, since n is 7 only, so we are dividing n by 10, so this will become 0.7. And now n is integer, so n will contain only 0. 0.7 instead of 0.7, it will contain only 0. So value of n will become 0. Now this condition will become false. So the control will not go back to the label. This instead control will come to the next statement. So next statement, that is the print statement. This statement will be executed, and sum equals to %. Make a correction here. This should be %d. This is not %s. Okay, I have written it wrongly. This is %d. So the sum equals to %d and comma s. Make it %d in your notebooks or anywhere. So just %s is used for printing strings. S is not the string, s is integer variable, so it should be %d. So value of s will be printed. So this program will print like sum equals to 13, and we are using getch and clear screen for turbo C purpose. Turbo C compiler we are using. अगर आप कोई दूसरा compiler use कर रहे हैं, code blocks use कर रहे हैं, या C free use कर रहे हैं, then you need not use clear screen and getch, as every time a new screen is presented and it holds automatically. Okay. Now similarly we can reverse the given number. The algorithm for reversing the number is this. Here we are taking another variable r, since we are reversing the number, so I've changed it as to r equals to 0. In this statement, we are initializing the variable r to 0. Again, almost all the statements are same. Instead, just we are calculating reverse number in this manner. You can understand the logic. I'm telling you that suppose you are having 23. If your number is 23, then first date will be 3. If you extract using statement number 3, then d will become 3. If the number you are considering is 23, what will happen? D will become 3 as you are calculating the remainder. Okay. Then we are calculating r. R equals to r into 10. what this statement is doing, this statement is multiplying the previous value of r by 10. So this is equivalent to left shifting the number. Okay, so earlier it was 0, so 0 into 10, it will remain 0 plus d, the first date will be added. So for example, if your number was 23, so this will become 3, so r is 3 now. Again same thing will happen in statement number 5, n will become 2.3, so n being integer, it will become 2 only. And here 2 is greater than 0. Since 2 is greater than 0, so we'll go back to the step number 3. We'll come here. Again d will be calculated. So since it was 2, now the date will become d equals to n, n is 2, so it will become 2 mod 10. So this will give you 2 remainder. Okay, so now what will happen? Second time, the value, previous value of r is 3. So now what will happen? 3 into 10, this will become 30. So your 3 has shifted by 1 place to the left. This is now 30. And next date is 2. So this 2 will be added to 30. So this will become 32. So your number is 32 now. R is 32. Now again n will be divided by 10. So since it was value of n was 2 only, this by dividing 10 will become 0.2, and since n is integer, we are considering n as integer, so this n will become 0. Now in statement number 6, we are checking whether n is greater than 0. So now this condition has become false, so the control will not go back to statement number 3, rather it will go to statement number 7. Okay, so this, what will this statement be doing? This statement will print the value of r, and this is the end of algorithm. So this algorithm is calculating, this algorithm is reversing a given number. ये algorithm आपकी किसी भी number को reverse कर देगी, कितने भी उसमें number of dates है. Okay, this is the corresponding program of the algorithm. So what we are doing, we are calculating the, we are writing the, or we are translating the algorithm into program. Same statements are here. Whatever variable you are using in your algorithm, you need to declare all the variables. So we have declared these 3 variables. R has been initialized as 0. Screen has been cleared, and then we are scanning the value of n. Okay. Now this is the part of algorithm. जो यहाँ पर लिखा हुआ है, इतना part यही आपका यहाँ लिखा हुआ है. If you see, this is in 1-to-1 correspondence. Here we are calculating d equals to n% n. So this will become this will calculate the unit date of the given number n. So first on first step, the first unit date will be calculated. Then we are dividing n by 10. So this will calculate the tens date, then hundreds date. So any number of dates are there. Every date will be extracted from the number, and then reverse number will be calculated like this: r equals to r into 10. So whatever value r is containing, it will be left shifted, and the new date will be added to the number. So for example, it was 23. So first time r is 0, it will become 0 into 10 plus 3. So this will become 3. And second time r value of r is 3. So now when you come again to this point, r, जब r की value 3 है, it will become 3 into 10, so 30 plus 2 will be added, so it will become 32. And then n will become 0. So you will come out of this loop. Okay. So this will calculate the number in reverse order. So if it was 23, this will become 32. If you were having 123, then it will become 321, or any number you are having in the range of integers. So the number will be reversed. Okay. Then we'll print this number. After this step, when n will become 0, will come out of the loop, and the reverse number will be printed like this. Here the statement is correct, % is written. Okay. So this cat ch and kill screen again have been used for turbo CID. Okay. Otherwise you need not use them. The problem with go to statement, as you can see in all these statements, is that you can jump to any statement where the label has been put. Okay, this label could be anywhere in the program. आपके प्रोग्राम में जो लेबल स्टेटमेंट है वो कहीं पर भी हो सकता है, और जहां पर भी लेबल स्टेटमेंट होगा वहीं पर आपका गो टू स्टेटमेंट जंप कर सकता है. So this makes your program very difficult to understand for any other person. Okay, आप अगर कोई प्रोग्राम लिख रहे हैं जिसमें आपने गो टू स्टेटमेंट यूज किया हुआ है, तो गो टू स्टेटमेंट आपके प्रोग्राम को ज्यादा मुश्किल बना देता है. ज्यादा मुश्किल इस सेंस से बना देता है कि आप अगर प्रोग्राम में कहीं पर भी हैं, even if you are in last statement, then this will become this may jump to first statement or anywhere else in the program. Okay. Google Hangout के बारे में आप लोग पूछें तो Google Hangout we can use, but I must have all of your Google IDs. Okay, so if you have Google IDs, then please share with me on Easy Class. Okay, so I can decide whether we can use Google or not, Google Hangout. Clear? What is this? Who is doing? Screen ये किसने किया है? So what I was telling you that गो टू जो है वो आपके प्रोग्राम को थोड़ा मुश्किल बना देता है, कॉम्प्लेक्स बना देता है कि आप गो टू की हेल्प से पूरे प्रोग्राम के अंदर कहीं भी जंप कर सकते हैं. इससे आपके प्रोग्राम की जो अंडरस्टैंडेबिलिटी है वो कम हो जाती है. जैसा क्लास में मैंने पहले भी डिस्कस किया है कि आपके प्रोग्राम की अंडरस्टैंडेबिलिटी या इजीनेस इस बात पे डिपेंड करती है कि दूसरा पर्सन उसको कितनी आसानी से समझ सकता है. आपने प्रोग्राम बनाया, आप उसको कैसा भी मुश्किल बना सकते हैं. अगर कोई दूसरा पर्सन उसको समझना चाह रहा है तो उसके लिए ये बेहतर होगा कि आपका प्रोग्राम स्ट्रक्चर्ड फॉर्म में हो, पर्टिकुलर ऑर्डर उसमें फॉलो हो रहा हो. लेकिन गो टू आपके प्रोग्राम को अनस्ट्रक्चर्ड बना देता है, एज इट कैन जंप एनीवेयर इन द प्रोग्राम. आप फॉरवर्ड डायरेक्शन में भी जंप कर सकते हैं, आप रिवर्स डायरेक्शन में भी जंप कर सकते हैं. सो दिस इज द प्रॉब्लम विद गो टू स्टेटमेंट. इन्हीं सब प्रॉब्लम्स को आइडेंटिफाई करने के बाद एक कंप्यूटर साइंटिस्ट हैं Edgar W. Dijkstra. Okay, he coined the term structured programming and proposed that go-to statement should be avoided and some predefined control structure should be used. इन्होंने जो है ये कहा है कि हम go-to statement को अवॉइड करें और कुछ ऐसे इंस्ट्रक्शन यूज करें जिनका प्रॉपर कंट्रोल स्ट्रक्चर हो, जिनमें डिफाइंड एंट्री पॉइंट्स हो और डिफाइंड एग्जिट पॉइंट हो. So he proposed that we should use only sequence statement. Sequence statement means if there are two statements, then they should be executed in order 1 and 2 and 3 and so on. Okay, and some decision making statement like if statement, if else statement, if else if later statement, or switch case statement, and some looping statement. Okay, so we have already studied sequence statement. We our earlier programs without loops or without go to statement were all following sequence. Okay, so if you start from statement number 1, then you will eventually end up with last statement. And decision making statement are used to change the flow of control flow of the program. So if you are checking some condition on statement number 2, then you can jump to statement number 4, or you can continue with statement number 3. Okay, so this is kind of decision making statement. Now the new statement that we are going to study is looping statement. Okay, so the C supports following kind of looping statement. One is while loop, second is do while loop, and third is for loop. Okay, so these are 3 loops that C programming supports. Okay, the loops can also be classified on the basis of how or where we are checking the condition. If we are checking the condition at entry point, that is called entry control loop. And if the condition is being checked after exit, that is called exit control. Okay, So while loop and for loop, while loop and for loop, these are entry control loops, and do while is exit control loop. Okay. So this is written about entry control and exit control. Entry control में आपकी कंडीशन जो है वो आप लूप में एंटर होंगे उस वक्त चेक होगी, तो ये कहलाता है एंट्री कंट्रोल, और अगर आप लूप से एग्जिट कर रहे हो उस वक्त कंडीशन चेक होती है, देन इट इज कॉल्ड एग्जिट कंट्रोल लूप. ओके. जैसा आपने गो टू स्टेटमेंट के साथ किया है कि आपने इफ कंडीशन के साथ गो टू स्टेटमेंट यूज किया है और उसको मैनी टाइम्स एग्जीक्यूट किया है. For example, if you are adding n natural numbers, then we are running some statement n number of times. This was done with the help of goto statement. But the problem with goto is that you can jump anywhere in the program. Okay, so it makes your program unstructured or difficult to understand. So Dijkstra advised not to use goto statement. Instead of goto statement, we should use standard constructs that are available in the language. So C, although C supports goto program or goto statement, but you should avoid goto statement. Instead of goto, we can use while loop, do while loop, or for loop. This is the syntax of while loop. In while loop, we have to write like this. While here we have to write some condition, and you should note that this condition is must. You cannot have empty parenthesis. Okay, you should clearly write in your notebook that this condition is a must. You cannot have empty parenthesis with while statement. If you are writing nothing within this parenthesis, then the compiler will report error message. Okay, if this condition is true, then the body of while loop will be executed. Body means the statement after while loop will be executed, and since most of the time there will be more than one statement, so we have put the braces here. Otherwise you can skip the braces also, like it was the case with if statement. Okay, so you are using while loop, then we can write like this, and this is the example of while loop. It has been used to print the sum of first 10 natural numbers. Okay, the program is same as we have studied earlier. The logic is also same. The integer I has been declared and initialized at 1. Now we are using the loop. Instead of go to and if statement, we are using the loop. So what the loop is doing is we are checking the condition at the entry point. This is the entry point. So while before entering into the while statement, we will check the condition whether the value of I is less than 10 or not. Since the value of I is less than 10, we are printing the value of I. Here we are only printing the first 10 natural number. So we are just printing the value of I. So since I was 1, so it will be printed as 1. Then this is the statement I plus plus. This loop variable will be modified. Value of I will be incremented from 1 to 2, and this is closing brace. So control will transfer to the starting statement of the loop. So again the control will come to this point. Again the value of I will be tested against 10. So 2 is also less than 10. Again the condition is true, and then we will go into the loop or the body of loop. So 2 will be printed. Again I will be modified, so I will become 3. Similarly, this will go on until the value of I become 11. Because up to 10, the condition is true. When I become 11, then you will come out of the loop and only first 10 natural numbers will be printed. Okay. So this is the use of while statement. In case of while statement, a condition has to be there in the parenthesis. If you are not mentioning any condition, then compiler will report error message. This is the syntax of do while loop. Do while is exit control loop. As I've told you that while is entry control, do while is exit control. What we do in this do while statement, this is the syntax: do whatever you need to do here. So this is actually a command for the compiler that you should perform these activities written within the braces. So that's why this name has been given as do. So compiler will do all these statement or all these activities, whatever you have written in this statement 1, 2, 3, 4, any number of statement can be performed here. Okay. After do, just note the syntax. This is do, and then this body of the loop is here. And after the body of loop, this while, and the condition is written here. So condition is written after do. So condition is written after or the as last statement. The condition will be tested only after you come out of the loop, or this is called exit control. Earlier in while statement, the condition was written as the first statement, so it was entry control, and in do while loop, this is written after the body of the loop, so this is exit control. Okay, so whatever you need to do, you will do first, and then you will check the condition. So even if the condition is false, at least do while statement will be executed once. Is it clear? क्या आपकी कंडीशन चाहे ट्रू हो या फॉल्स हो, क्योंकि आप पहले एक बार एग्जीक्यूट कर रहे हैं, उसके बाद आप कंडीशन चेक कर रहे हैं, तो कंडीशन अगर फॉल्स भी है तब भी आपको नहीं मालूम, जब आप ये एक्टिविटीज परफॉर्म कर रहे हैं, यू डोंट नो वेदर कंडीशन इज ट्रू और नॉट. Okay, so at least once you have executed the body of loop, and then you will check the condition. So even if the condition is false, your loop will be executed. Okay. This is the program for explaining and the working of do while loop. What we are doing, we are writing the program again. This is written as void main. As earlier I have told you that if you are writing void main, then it will not have any return statement. If you have written some int value, if you have written int main, then you need to write the return statement after the as the last statement of the main program. Okay. So what we need to do, we are again doing the same program with the help of do while loop. So in this case, we need to do declaration of variable. This is only single variable. This is called loop control variable. Okay. Then this is the body of loop. Do all these things. So what are all these things? First statement is the print statement. So we will print the value of I. Same thing will happen since the value of I is 0. The value of I is 1. So first statement will be executed and 1 will be printed. 1 will be printed, and then I will be incremented, so I will become 2. Then we will check the condition after the print statement or after incrementing. So when the value of I will become 2, only then condition will be checked. So 2 is less than 10. So we'll go back to the loop, starting of the loop, and we'll again print the value of 2, and then I will be incremented, and again while loop will be executed. This condition will be tested, and if the condition is true, then we will go back to the first statement of the loop. So we'll continuously execute all this statement until and unless this condition will become false. Okay. So जब ये condition आपकी false हो जाएगी, तब इस loop से आप बाहर आ जाएंगे, and once you are out of the loop, there's no other statement. So you will your program will end. Okay. So this program will generate first 10 natural numbers from 1 to 10. Okay. Now this is the for loop. This is another kind of loop. This loop has all three parts as initialization,